Taking a look at our SEC bracket in a moment. It's LSU, Oklahoma in this quarterfinal matchup. The 4 seed and the 5 seed. It'll be Koval and Beers, who Holly just told you about, to jump it up. And here we go. Quarterfinal matchup. LSU, Oklahoma is underway. Winner will face South Carolina, 4:30 Eastern tomorrow on ESPN2. Here's Zaya Van working behind Beers. Van's leaner won't go. Michaela Williams the rebound. Williams 3 straight double-doubles. She had 1 her first 98 career games. Flaugier buries the mid-range.
Flaugier Johnson had a terrific game the first time these teams met. Getting a good start here.
See the starting lineup: Peyton Verhulst, Zaya Van, Aaliyah Chavez, Sahara Williams, and Reagan Beers. Van connects on a 3.
You see the great pass from Reagan Beers. She's going to draw attention. It's one of the reasons she needs to stay out of foul trouble for Oklahoma. She tends to get into foul trouble. Did yesterday, did in the first meeting between these teams.
Yeah, as Williams hits the jumper, Beers picked up her second foul in the first quarter in that first meeting between these teams. Johnson, she got it. What a fast start for LSU's offense. Van, no. Rebound Williams. These are 2 teams that can score it, get up and down the floor. Richard had a big first meeting. Richard connects. A 10-3 lead for LSU. They have come out firing, 4 for 4 from the floor. Verhulst, no. Koval the rebound. Here's Flaugier. Koval mid-range, why not? Chavez, the talented freshman. Off to Van, lob it in great position from Verhulst.
And Verhulst held her position that entire possession. Flaugier Johnson just could not find her way around. And Verhulst didn't get the ball initially, but continued to work and hold the seal.
Johnson, they're really important not to break the seal this early. 12-5 LSU lead. Chavez can't hit the 3. Williams knocks it down. Richard back ironing off. Johnson, tough offensive rebound. Williams with that smooth stroke in the mid-range right now. Chavez pedals it through, got fouled by Johnson. 56 straight free throws. That is an astonishing number.
Incredible.
We had her as number 3 at ESPN. Leads the nation in free throw percentage. Now has made 58 in a row. Had that huge overtime.
Oklahoma in a 1-3-1 defense this possession.
And out of bounds. Last touch to LSU. It's Oklahoma basketball. A different angle at the bedazzled balls. Chavez buries it, and that's what makes her so dangerous.
And Richard made her work really hard for that look.
Chavez hits the deck in the paint. But widely lobbing it in. Johnson able to fight through 2 defenders to finish.
She's so quick. Zakiya Johnson is off of her feet once she catches.
Kaya Smith turns it over. Michaela Williams able to dribble it through traffic. Richard out to Williams. Catch, fire, and hit. Chavez dives in, gets fouled, will go back to the line. Jenny Baranczyk clearly less than delighted. And And the Tigers with 7 players averaging 9 points or more per game as the freshman Chavez hits a 59th straight free throw. Beers on the bench as Chavez makes it an even 60 straight made free throws. And that's impressive for any player, but especially a freshman. At that level of poise and concentration. Wiley rings in a 3. Winner gets South Carolina tomorrow. 4:30 Eastern on ESPN2. Verhulst bounces in. Stewart able to finish as Joyner was coming quickly. Here's Richard. Wiley. Guarded by Chavez. Koval. 7 to shoot. Rims it in, plus the foul on Verhulst. See the numbers for Koval on the season as she misses the free throw. Here's Sahara Williams. Williams had an incredible game in Oklahoma's biggest win of the season, that victory against South Carolina. Lofton. Down the lane, got slapped. And free throws for Keziah Lofton. North Carolina at 6:30 minutes. Auburn and number 16 Alabama at 8:30 in the night. Capped off by number 10 Texas Tech. Tom's just broke some news on UNC's Caleb Wilson. A non-contact drill in practice. Strong as well. And post those little regards. Richard into Knox. Knox able to rim in the jumper. 7-point LSU lead. They've already put up 26. Shot clock is turned off at the end of this first. Verhulst has it knocked away, and it last hit her. 5th turnover of the quarter for Oklahoma. Williams with 7 points, 3 rebounds in this first. Wiley picks it up. 3 seconds left. Wiley at the horn. Gets it to go. Count it for Milestones. She is 2nd in the conference in steals, 8th in the conference in blocks as a guard who comes off the bench. That's an amazing number. It's called for an offensive foul here.
Absolutely, she beat her to the spot. She was dribbling, took the contact, and great call, offensive foul.
All right, Buchanan, our rules analyst, will be with us throughout all of March. And then we'll keep her in April because that's when the Final Four is. Lofton to Beers. Banging off bodies. What soft touch with the left. Kenny Baranchek has had to, throughout this season at different times, emphasize, get the ball to Reagan, get the ball to Reagan. Here's Flaugier back in. That is out of bounds. Off of Knox. Oklahoma basketball. Actually, our colleague George Sedano did a report on the iPad people.
Is this on Beers? Is this her second?
Yeah, it is. So, let's see. This is
a lot of contact here. Oh, it looks to me like Koval pulls down Beers.
How is that a double foul? D, am I wrong in thinking that's egregious to not just call that a defensive foul?
What you want to do is get the first foul, which would have been Koval's foul. And I will amend that. I have said many times, never rely on an official to decide your game.
Yeah.
Don't do it. Don't put it in the hands of the officials.
Here's Richard. The leaner is good.
Richard did an excellent job.
Dan had a wide open look, didn't take it. Smith will. Way off. Williams able to save it, and Stewart is fouled. And Zakiya Johnson getting a little updated tape job. Stewart. Brooklyn Stewart, the freshman, is the number 66 recruit in the nation heading into this season. It's both free throws there. 5-point game. 6:38 to go in the second quarter of this quarterfinal matchup. Oklahoma now 8 of 8 from the line in this game. Williams turning, can't hit. Zakiya Johnson able to finish. Diavan darting up the floor. Richard, terrific effort. Oklahoma gets it back. Sahara Williams wide open. And a foul is called on Johnson. And Bella Hines, the 5 for LSU. Kaya Smith, Sahara Williams, navigating without Beers and without Verhulst on the floor. Up till now, they've done a pretty nice job of just keeping things steady. Not falling behind by more. Richard bounces out of bounds. Koval couldn't grab it.
She had to use her voice more, and she's communicating a lot on the defensive end. And when you're in a zone, you need to do that in order to keep everyone on the same page.
Williams, center of the lane, got fouled. And Sahara Williams is going to the line where Oklahoma is 10 for 10 in this first half. Flaugier picks up her second. As Williams.
Guys, stop fouling each other every time down the floor.
Right. That's the first missed free throw of the day for Oklahoma. Now 11 of 12. Richard can't catch up with it. LSU turns it over again with Beers and Verhulst both on the bench for an extended period of time in foul trouble.
We know how deadly LSU can be when they can get out and run and get out in transition, and Oklahoma's really done a good job preventing that.
Chavez parries the mid-range.
The right-to-left crossover in this space and quickness that Chavez gets, getting that shot up.
LSU just 4 points in the quarter. They add 3 more there. Michaela Williams drains it. Chavez looking to answer. Can't hit. Rebound Richard. Up ahead to Fulwiley behind the back. Fulwiley gets fouled. And Malaysia Fulwiley will shoot 2.
The man has lists for everything. He doesn't have a list of top dances, the chicken dance.
My favorite thing about Mike is you get into a conversation, best shows or best movies of all time. He will pull out the list.
Oh, my God.
And again, Verhulst and Beers remain on the bench with 2 fouls. Been an even score since they both went to the bench. Chavez, nice look. Sarah Williams can't finish it. Culleton, good effort inside, and a foul. Koval picks up her second. And Williams. And Williams got the second. When she plays well, Oklahoma tends to. Michaela Williams pull-up jumper. Won't go. Koval fouled by Culleton. And Chavez took a monster screen.
Nothing wrong with the screen. It's unfortunate that's where her head hit. But there was nothing illegal, no foul to be called.
It's been very physical for her, but it's helped that she's lost more than 20 pounds this season. She said, I've done a ton of conditioning since I got to LSU.
But LSU has 11 turnovers themselves. Here's Williams, and that is going to be an offensive foul on Brooklyn Stewart.
A plethora of whistles.
We didn't have many in game 1.
No, that's true.
Here's Joyner. Culleton, good contest, and Joyner still able to finish. Van, nice look, and Lofton lays it in. What a gorgeous pass from Zaya Van. Fulwiley hopping into the paint, doesn't get the roll. Oklahoma looking to push now. Chavez, wheeling, leaving. Bad handoff there between Culleton and Williams. It springs. Fulwiley gets fouled by Chavez. Verhulst has sat most of this second quarter after picking up her second. Fulwiley hits the first free throw. Fulwiley. Here's Williams. Throws it away. Hines on the steal. 2 seconds left. Richard bounces. Joyner lays it in. Plus the foul.
The foul occurred before triple zeros.
When Bella Hines first corralled the basketball and gave it to Jada Richard, she pointed at the clock, telling her teammate, we gotta go, and Richard pushes it. And then you get Joyner with the and one opportunity. Oh, certainly that's off in time. Foul happened before as well.
Michaela Williams, Milesia Full-Wiley, productive. And Reagan Beers, 13 total first half minutes in the first 2 tournament games. Here's we check in with Holly Rowe.
Well, guys, Reagan Beers at times has written down stupid fouls on a piece of paper and thrown it away behind the bench. She does try to really stop these, and I just went and talked to Jenny Baranchek, and she said, I've just asked her at halftime, you have to have a mindset shift. I have to have you present where your feet are and being very smart here in this second half.
All right, thank you, Holly. Verholz, baseline jumper won't go. That looked like one you could have just played on after the catch. Flaugier Johnson misses the runner. Verholz comes up with it. Verholz sat for much of the second quarter in foul trouble herself. Zaya Van bounces into traffic, and Richard springs away with it. Jada Richard lays it in. Chavez unable to hit. Beers got up just in time to catch it. Verholz's line drive attempt is short.
Jada Richard just coming into the paint, reading the eyes of Van and bursting the other way so she can get the easy 2. Nice focus when you hear the feet around you of the defenders.
Full-Wiley can't hit. Joyner unable to finish. And a whistle's going to keep things here. Reagan Beers is perplexed. That's her third. And Dad certainly not happy about it. We will show you a replay of that as soon as we get a chance. As Beers seemed very confused. Chavez unable to hit. Verholz lays it in. Peyton Verholz with just her second field goal of the game. Had been 1 of 9 from the floor before that make. Full-Wiley can't finish. Beers the rebound, and Full-Wiley's called for the foul. Let's take a look back at the third foul on Beers. I mean, that just feels... I guess she gets her on the head, yeah.
Like Rebecca said, I'm going to use that consistency word that is always thrown at officials.
Yeah.
They just called the hit there on the head, and they responded with a similar hit on the other end.
Very good point.
We are consistent.
Yeah, very good point. Williams on the move, floats it in. Full-Wiley, by the way, with that reach in they called, picked up her third. So now Full-Wiley goes to the bench. Chavez, nice dish, and the finish from Van. Beautiful pass from Aaliyah Chavez. I mean, and another double foul. We've had 2 double fouls in this game. That feels irregular as well. Beers throws it away. Richard, the pull-up is good.
Not enough play-by-play people are honest, Ryan.
Yeah. Hey, we're honest here.
We're honest here.
Chavez buries the mid-range. A few weeks ago. Into Knox, out to Johnson, gets an open look. Can't hit the 3. Knocks the putback.
That was a really good possession for LSU because you see Oklahoma continuing to be in their zone with so much.
Williams lays it in off the delivery from Chavez.
With so much attention put on the wings and right here that you'll see for LSU. They went in, got the ball inside, then the pass back out in the last possession.
Richard.
Here it comes. You see the 2 defenders trying to keep her right on that side of the floor.
Richard, good take, and lays it in with the left hand. Chavez, oh, what a dish. Verholz connects on the sweet pass from Aaliyah Chavez. Both teams finding it on the offensive end. Richard nails the mid-range. Then has something to say to Zaya Van, who had a big smile. Chavez saw Verholz sprinting towards the cup, but just overthrew her.
Beautiful dimes by Aaliyah Chavez.
5 assists on 6 made field goals here in the third. Joyner lays it in, plus the foul, as Stewart picks up Her third. Joyner at the line. And a three-point play. Chavez guarded nicely by Richard. Chavez unable to hit. Joyner, big-time board there. Oklahoma, though, is a +8 on the glass in this game. Knox whips it out. Richard, no. And a whistle. It's going to stay here.
Tim Mulkey routinely says Jada Richard does not get enough credit and enough praise for what she is doing for our basketball team. Running the point, a hound on defense, and nice play there.
The defenders have their backs turned, and I mean, off the knee, the back of the knee of Reagan Beers, and able to get it and then finish, because Beers, of course, has to be careful with her fouls.
Van trying to get it to Beers. Beers will fire from three, missed it badly, and a whistle underneath. It's going to be called against Oklahoma. 4 fouls for Brooklyn Stewart, 3 for Chavez and Beers. Williams buries the free throw. 3 straight double-doubles after she had won her first 98 career games. Oklahoma had closed it to 7, the closest they had been in this third. Sahara Williams fakes the 3. Looking to drive it. Zaya Van, Verles trying to get it into Beers and cannot.
Beers was open earlier. She's the last resort. You saw that with Van kind of overthrowing her in a desperation pass, but need to be more intentional about getting Reagan Beers touches when she's in the game.
In advance of that South Carolina game, as Knox lays it in, that Oklahoma won, Jenny Baranczyk said 90% of what they were running in practice that week was getting the ball into Reagan Beers, getting the ball into Reagan Beers. This is the one message she kept driving home. It was really the lone focus, and then guess what happened? They won that game against South Carolina.
But you're going to have plenty of opportunities with her off of the floor because of her foul trouble. When she's on the floor, you got to get her the ball.
The 11-0 run ended on the Chavez bucket. Wow, what is Zaya Van doing slowing down there? For Wiley with the rejection in transition.
If anything, accelerate and go to the right side of the rim and try to use it as your protection from getting blocked instead of this. She just put the brakes on.
Made it easy for Wiley. Richard will check out. And Bella Hines gets called for the foul. 33 fouls thus far in this game. As Verhulst had a tough shooting game today. 3 for 13 from the floor, 1 of 6 from 3. Misses that free throw, tapped out of bounds. That looked like that had lasted Sahara Williams. Not sure if LSU might want to appeal, but they're not.
Timothy looks so annoyed, she's not even going to turn around and look at her video guide.
And that is going to be an offensive foul as Verhulst is number 3 on Verhulst. Impressive that Hines has drawn the most charges, given that she doesn't play many minutes.
Yeah, limited minutes. She's gotten more minutes as the season's gone on, especially since that South Carolina game where she was so good off the bench.
Lagier, what a drive, twisting through traffic. And Hines knocks it off of Verhulst out of bounds. Bella Hines with a big-time defensive play, and then gets a friendly cheek tap from Flau'jae Johnson.
Flau'jae Johnson excited, smacks her teammate in the cheek with excitement.
Wiley all the way in, and LSU starting to really separate. It's 19. Chavez, no. Wiley behind the back, up the floor. Johnson racing in. LSU just having fun in transition now. Trying to set up a meeting with South Carolina tomorrow. 4:30 Eastern on ESPN2. Beers got fouled by Joyner. Tigers have shot at 51% as a team from the floor as Beers and misses them both. For Wiley with time. 5 seconds left. For Wiley, the hesitation, the fade, and the hit. Second time today Wiley is into the court.
Well, one of the big reasons Milesia Wiley transferred into LSU is she wanted to get better at the lead guard position, work with Kim Mulkey, who's known for being hard on her point guards, and we have seen Milesia's decision-making grow. Didn't see it on the replay, but right before she took that last shot, she surveys the floor, sees what her options are, and then makes a quick decision. In both cases, the decision was right, as is that one. Milesia Wiley, she is progressing and is a much more well-rounded player this season at LSU.
Oh, I like that emphasis from Holly, play-by-play right there. Nicely done, Hall. Here's Beers with a 26, make it 24-point lead over Oklahoma. Wiley can't finish that one. Beers the rebound. Lofton dishes back to Verhulst. Winner of this game faces South Carolina tomorrow afternoon, 4:30 Eastern on ESPN2. Certainly looks like we are ticketed for meeting number 2 this season between South Carolina and LSU. As Hines buries the 3. First game was a great show in Baton Rouge as Beers lays it in.
Man, to get potentially that rematch
in a semifinal.
Is this semi or semi?
You know, it depends on the day, but typically semi I go. You go semi?
I think I do.
All right. Flaugier, she got it. 12 points for Flaugier Johnson. Lofton speeds down to lay it. Hines. Using the Koval screen. Johnson, you bet! Flaugier adding a little more. Oh, what a rejection from Knox, and it stays in bounds. For Wiley in transition. Flaugier up under and in. Plus the foul. It's a party for the Tigers.
LSU finding some flow here in the fourth. Flaugier Johnson, a big part of it with the finish there. Celebration.
And at the line here to creep a little closer. This is that free throw. Williams the rebound. Sahara Williams clapping for the basketball as Oklahoma throws it out of bounds. That is now 19.
Then when she is on the floor, you've got to exhaust the options to try to get her the basketball. There's times when she's had her defender sealed and they just haven't been able to get her the ball.
Flaugier cutting through. Oh, what a take from Flaugier Johnson. Hall of Fame legend and her assistant coach, Simone Augustus, for third most wins in program history. And when all is said and done this March, Flaugier may top Sylvia Fowle, projected to be the number 5 pick in the WNBA draft. As Flaugier has had some issues at the line. Sahara Williams can't hit the jumper. Wiley off and running. Wiley held up and a foul on Sahara Williams as Wiley a little slow to get up. Wiley, Dawn Staley, 3-time national champion. Watching the end of this one between LSU and Oklahoma. Dawn's Gamecocks will take on the winner of this game tomorrow, 4:30 Eastern on ESPN2. Wiley in the corner, trying to escape. Flaugier, 3 points away from 2,000. You bet! There it is! Flaugier Johnson's 2,000th career point.
What a shot by Flau'jae Johnson. She retreats, gets behind the three-point line. It's contested, and then you see Simone celebrating for the youngin.
Flau'jae got a nice ovation from the LSU fans there. Sixth player in program history with 2,000 career points. Ties her season high with 4 made threes. Beers can't hit. Rebound Joyner. Beers just 6 field goal attempts in this game as LSU continues to add to the onslaught. They're on their way to a 14th game, topping the century mark. Chavez a 3.
Chavez has really found her stroke from 3 as well.
Well, Wiley does the same thing. Michaela Williams.
Well, you can't let it happen twice. There's no player on the inbounder, and she can just throw it off the back of Beers.
Kim Mulkey starting to empty the bench somewhat. Zaya Van off. Williams lays it in. Let's talk about Oklahoma and their prospects a little bit, Rebecca, as we look ahead to the tournament. Chavez picks up the foul, the 4th on Chavez.
And then there's less than good Oklahoma, and we've seen some of that here in stretches in the 4th quarter. How many possessions in a row did they have a turnover? When they haven't played well, they've ignored Reagan Beers, they've turned the basketball over, and they've taken poor shots. So
and check for what's happened today.
Exactly.
Feels unlikely. Lofton able to lay it in on the tape. Hines, the spin, takeaway from Zaya Van. Van gets tripped by Hines from behind with 3:50 to go in this 4th.
Trying to go out with a positive.
All right, Holly, good stuff from you there. They take Oklahoma from a 3 to a 4 seed in the NCAA tournament.
4 freshmen on the floor right now, along with Milestones for Wiley.
For Wiley dishes, Knox can't finish. Gets it back. Goes up. Couldn't finish again. That time she will, plus the foul. And a free throw coming to try and get to the century mark.
Relentless on the glass, continue to work. And here, just trying to get the ball up on the rim. Goes and gets it again, and then able to finish.
Knox. There it is, the century mark once again for LSU. 14th time this season, 2nd most in Division I history. 1 away from tying Long Beach State for the all-time mark. Knox saves it to Hines. Her 3 is good.
It started with Divine Barrage making the pass to Grace Knox, then the extra pass as well. Staying unselfish here, LSU.
Chavez gets fouled by Hines. Had 48 combined fouls in this game.
South Carolina, Dawn Staley able to go deep into her bench, play a lot of people, rest some people, understanding that their goal is to play 3 games, and wear and tear on your legs.
Such a good point. For Wiley, will fire. Couldn't bank in the 3. Micaiah Johnson will lay it in. Off the putback, 105-70. LSU leads it. Two more games still to come here from Greenville. Ole Miss, Vandy.
Barrage goes to the free throw line. She's the only member of LSU who has not scored yet today.
Chance to change that right here. She does. Barrage misses the second. Knox battling. So is Williams. 2 minutes and 10 seconds remaining in this fourth. Williams raves about the growth of Sahara Williams throughout her time in Oklahoma. Talks about the leap she took in maturity from her freshman to her sophomore year was the most profound evolution she's seen in that step from freshman to sophomore ever as a coach. Kaya Smith lays it in. Wiley on the drive, couldn't finish it. Zakiya Johnson.
I remember it very clearly. My first Final Four game, 63 fouls.
Wow.
I didn't want to do it. I mean, you know, other than that third foul I called on you in the national championship, that game was a disaster. Or as you said, Ryan, what?
Grotesque.
Grotesque. That one was grotesque.
Because players wouldn't stop fouling.
And they wouldn't. And I told them, please stop fouling, and it was totally ineffective.
Chavez rims in the jumper. Here's Zakiya Johnson. Johnson meets three bodies, has it poked away. Gathered by Knox. Baseline jumper rims out. Kaya Smith springs away with the rebound. Hastily up the floor. And you see Grace Knox, I think, expressing what a lot of people have probably felt. Flau'jae Johnson, Michaela Williams, really effective and efficient performances from them. Williams, 14 points, 5 of 9 shooting. Flau'jae picking up her 2,000th career point, 21 points from her. Bella Hines drains the three.
Tough shot.
Hey, Bella Hines is a player who we're starting to see more and more of, and you like her more and more the more you see.
She earned that playing time in the South Carolina game and has been getting more minutes since then.
Wiley around the back. Can't lay it in. Zakiya Johnson with the putback. 112 points from LSU. Shot clock turned off. Zaya Vance push shot off the mark. Follow won't go. LSU can dribble it out now. Zakiya Johnson having some trouble. We'll have one more foul.
And if some of those fouls wouldn't be called, we'd have other issues.
Right. Feels like it's maybe the officials being a little overly sensitive to some contact.
But I think more from column A even than column B.
Yes. Williams hits the second. Now LSU should be able to dribble this one out. But Wiley has to take it across. And we are set up for a big-time semifinal tomorrow. It'll be LSU against South Carolina at 4:30 Eastern on ESPN2. The Tigers dismantle the Sooners 112-78, the final. 2,000th career point for Flau'jae Johnson. 14th game with 100 points for LSU, second most in NCAA history. Milestones Wiley, 22 points, 8 assists, 4 rebounds. And Wiley set up for a second game against her former team, South Carolina.